we're back at it again. Goals, goals, goals. I'm always encouraging my audience to go after big, audacious goals. And some of these goals that we pursue and go after, we have the thought of giving up. But I want you to know giving up is not an option. It's not an option for you, it's not an option for me. I want you to know that you have to believe in yourself. We're humans. It's natural to have the thoughts that we want to give up, or we want to stop something. That's all internal inside of us that's driving us to just stop and not move forward. But there are multiple reasons as to why most people give up on their goals, but I want you to know giving up is not an option. Multiple reasons that could contribute to your thought of giving up is number one is the self-doubt. You doubt your abilities and your own belief that you are fit or you're capable of achieving this goal that you set out for yourself. I'm a victim. I suffer from this. I am fully aware of this thought of self doubt and not having a belief. When I'm doing things that I've never done, the first thing I do is I have a sense of passion and desire for it. And then as I start to get into the weeds of what's required, I start thinking, I don't know, I'm able to do this. Maybe I should think of something else. Maybe I should give up and not do it at all. Or I have this thought of like, oh, this is God telling me that this is not for me. But look, those moments are going to define you, right? They're going to define you. You have to push past them. The second reason most people give up on their dreams or they stop and they give up is because of the fear of succeeding and the fear that they can't do it, so they become paralyzed and they don't move forward. I'm a victim. I have committed this crime. I call it a gold crime. I've committed this. I get paralyzed when it's something that I've never. That I get paralyzed when it's hard, and I get paralyzed when I think that I don't know what the first step is that I should take. And so I delay making any movement. I delay making progress. And that's the only thing that's what's holding me back from moving forward. But I think one of the things that we have to do when we get to these points of being paralyzed is just take a moment and just start moving past that moment, move past it. The third reason people typically give up on their goals is a sense of embarrassment. The feeling that other people will laugh or they'll judge you based on the fact of you stopping midway of this goal, or once you achieve that goal, what people will say or think. We are not worried about what other people think. We're not worried about the judgments that we'll have. Like, I'm coaching myself as I'm talking to you through this video. The embarrassment is real. The thought of embarrassment is real. For me, I get over this by simply not telling everyone exactly what it is that I'm doing. I may call it being private. I may call it, just being focused on the goal that I want to do. Heads down, let's get at it. But I don't want to have that feeling of someone asking me about a goal that I said I was going to do, and it's not moving fast as I would like it to do. And the moment someone asks me about the progress of it and I'm not done, it makes me feel like, oh, I'm never going to get it done. Or they'll say these things like, oh, yeah, I thought you said, or weren't you going to, or didn't you make this plan too? I don't need anyone else tracking my progress but me. So I don't tell anybody else about it until it's finished and it's revealed and it's done. There are certain things that protects not only me, but it protects my goals, it protects my baby, and that baby being that goal that I'm birthing. So, just be mindful of the thought of embarrassment. Yes, it's real, but work around it to help to protect yourself, your visions, and your goals. All right. The fourth reason most people give up on their goals is the idea of the obstacles feeling insurmountable. You get so overwhelmed by what's required, or you get so overwhelmed by the challenges that you're experiencing that you decide to give up because it's just too much. Like, just throw in a bag. Nah, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do it. I don't feel like it. It's not worth the time. It's not worth the energy or the effort. Let me just go and do what I know and let me result to doing what's easy. But listen, that is not going to help you to live a fulfilling life or become the person that you desire, if in fact that's what you want. But I believe that any goal that you set is actually preparing you to become a better version or greater version of yourself, and you evolve as a person to do bigger and greater things, and you live a broader, grander, more enjoyable life. you don't have anything you're striving towards, you're going to keep getting the same things that you always gotten. And there's nothing wrong with your life. I'm not saying that you have to do something bold or different, but if you want something different, if you want to evolve, every year throughout your life, why not set a goal and go after it? But as I just, rattled off a couple of reasons why people decide to give up on their goals midway, I want you to know that it is possible to move past these things. And not just with the examples that I shared, so far, but if I told you there was a way to get beyond these feelings of self-doubt, procrastination, being paralyzed, or feeling that you can't do it, or the obstacles seem insurmountable, let me help you to understand it in a more realistic way, based on facts, based on proof, based on studies. So brace yourself for this example that I'm getting ready to share. I mean, it's not grueling, but it's kind of like, dang, are you really using that as an example? Yeah, it's real, and it's a great comparable. So there was a Harvard Business Review study that was done on mice. And what they did was they starved these mice, and then they put a coil, which is like this heavy weight that they attach to their body, and they put them through a tube where they just, put the mice in a tube, and on one side of the tube was cheese, the thing that they're desiring to, to eat because they're starving, they're hungry. So if you got the cheese on the one side, and the mice is going through the tube and naturally trying to get to the cheese so it can eat. Now, this particular weight, it actually was holding them back, and they pushed, hard to go after and get the cheese, and they eventually got there. But then the other side of it, they took another study, they starved mice again, but this time they put cheese on one side of the tube, tied the coil to its body, and on the opposite side of the body, it wafted in the smell of a cat, right? So one side is the cheese, the other side is the smell of a cat, same weight, same tube. But this time, the mice pushed even harder and got to the cheese faster, right? And then you wonder, well, why did they get to the cheese faster this time versus the other time? They were just as hungry. They had the exact same conditions. But the difference was behind them was the fear of the cat, right? It didn't want to go backwards, right, behind them to what they have experienced, and they know that feeling, right? They don't want that cat. They don't want that heat. So for you to move forward with your particular goal or aspiration, it's not always focusing on the goal of what you want. It's focusing on what was behind you, of that fear of what you're trying to overcome. So for you, that cheese is your goal, but behind you might be you were homeless. That other fear behind you was that you were laid off and you never want this feeling again of not having a job. Or maybe it was that feeling of being broke. You've been broke before, you never want to go back to being broke, right? Or you've been in an abusive relationship and you want to do whatever you can to get out of that relationship in order to set yourself up for a life that you want without that abuse, right? So you have to focus on, without great focus on it, is understanding what are you trying to change in your life that could be holding you back, or the thing that is a fear, the thing that you no longer want. Let that motivate and inspire you to move forward. Let that push you forward, right? So it's all about thinking about the other side, which is the goal that you want, but also thinking back about what you're trying to, I don't want to say run from, but the thing you no longer want to experience. Or if you don't want to experience it again, you're pushing forward so that you position yourself so you don't have to experience that again, right? And so I think a lot of times we think that the goal is enough to inspire us, but sometimes your fear of the past can also inspire you just the same. But you don't want to spend a whole lot of time there either. All right. So now, no matter what you encounter along the way for your goal, you cannot give up. It's not an option. And these things that we aspire towards, these things that we eventually get, you're going to experience something called a post-traumatic growth. Post-traumatic growth. It's the thing that you will experience after you achieve the goal, because you become someone greater. You've built up muscle, you build up experience, and you build up confidence. And that post-trauma of growth is all a part of your journey, and it's all a part of your process. When you're going after something you've never done before, you're going to experience obstacles, you're going to experience opposition, you're going to experience the ideal of adversity. All these things are required, and they're all part of the sauce that's cooked up for you to actually birth, bake, and cook up this thing that you desire. But you won't get there if you give up. You won't get there if you decide that it's too much. But in life, You have to remember that when you have something that you want, you have to focus on what it is that you desire, but stay true to it and go after it. You have to finish. Finish, finish, finish. No matter how hard, no matter how difficult, at the end of the day, you're going to get the glory. God's going to get the glory. You're going to be able to look back at yourself and say, man, I'm so glad I did it. Your future self is going to love you to say, oh my God, I'm so glad that I did it. So here are the things that I believe that you can do now to help you to keep moving past and beyond this idea of fear, but also keep moving towards your goal. So the number one thing I want you to do is recalibrate. Take a moment and get into a quiet place that allows you to be super clear about one, why did you decide to go after this goal? And two, help yourself to give a little bit of a self-motivation to reflect on what it is that you desire and move past this obstacle that you have. Ground yourself in it, accept what's happening, and then gather yourself up and then start to move beyond it by just recalibrating. The number two thing that you can do is to create better self-talk, right? In our mind, we hold back and we say certain things to ourselves that may not be encouraging, right? We have enough things going on in the world that's discouraging us, the people, the things, looking at other people's lives, looking at what they've actually achieved and what you don't have yet. It doesn't matter, babe. You have to give yourself some confidence and talk to yourself naturally, daily. And when you have those moments of self-doubt, you have to hear that thought and then say, no, not today. We can get past this, right? So when I have self-thoughts, I literally talk to myself. I'm like, hey, come on, babe. You can do this. We can do this. And I change it with another word or another sentence that's going to inspire me to believe that I can. And even a Bible verse is going to help me to get past it. All right. And then number three, I really want you to understand why you are going after what you are going after. That why will help you to identify that fear that I talked about, that cat. You know, what is that cat, right? That's really getting at you that you don't want to experience again. And you have to trust and believe that you will not experience it again. But if in fact there's something that you can do to control your circumstances, we can't control everything, but you can control the actions. You can control the energy and direction of where you put your time to make it all come together. All right. So I'm going to leave you with this quote from Inky Johnson. He says, stay true to what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left. Again, stay true to what you say you would do long after the mood you set it in has left. Finish. All right. So no matter how hard it gets, remember when you first set out to create that goal or that desire, keep that energy, keep that same mood and reflect on it because that's going to get you to the other side. All right. So I believe in you. Stay true to yourself. Believe in yourself. And there are two things that I believe that can continue to help you on this journey towards your goal. One is a book that I wrote last year that I'm now putting out to the world and communicating and sharing that is here. It is Goal Crusher, the ultimate guide to achieve your big, audacious goals. I wrote this book with the intention of helping people understand what are the things that are required in order to achieve a goal that you've never done before, including some of these things I shared with you here today. But there are multiple things that you're going to need in order to keep pushing through and keep hitting your goals and accomplishing them. It's all possible. And not only did I write this in the book, but I consider the book the manual to your goal. But then at the same time, you can't get away from the tool that's going to help you to take daily action. So in 2022, I created this planner, the 1-day daily execution planner. I have it on Amazon. I have it on my website. You can click the links below to get access to it. But this planner is really the systems that you can actually use to take daily action every single day to achieve your goals. But I don't want you necessarily to think that you're in this alone, right? You have to get organized, you have to get focused, you have to get disciplined. But these two items together are definitely going to help you to achieve your goals. So you can go to my website, learn more about me at the1day.co, the1day.co. You can purchase both of these, and you can also go to Amazon to purchase my daily execution planner. And oh, by the way, my audiobook just came out last week. And you can actually get the audiobook right now on Barnes & Noble. Audible is surely coming, but I definitely want you all to do the thing that you said you want to do long after the mood you set it in has left, But at the same time, I want you to take action every single day. Get over those mental blockers, those mental barriers that are holding you back, and really believe in yourself. But you got to do it by literally taking it one day at a time. All right, till next time.